Mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you?
Hey, it's you. Come on in and join us.
Well, we have a sweet treat today from Peter Charkalis and his grandmother from Ariana and Evans.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat and meet the Whiff Pack. A cool group of friends from all over the world hanging out. And you know what? They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, we have been showing you some of the razors we have in our den. And this was the first razor we got from Ellsworth.
This is our only brass razor. It's the Coppercon, and I love this thing. The architecture is awesome. It gets all these little nooks and crannies in the best of ways. There's a plus plate, which DJ enabled me to get, and I love that. But y'all, hold on. Let's have a grown-up conversation. I don't use this as much as I should because whenever I get right down here by my Adam's apple, I don't know why, but it's the only razor in our collection that always leaves me with a little deep cut right here. And I'm not sure why, so it's totally user error, but I need some help. Put in the comments. Other than that, this is one of my absolute favorite razors, and I am dying for the day I can figure that part out because I will be a much better shaver for it. And what is our soap today?
And our soap today is Baklava, sent to us by Peter himself.
Y'all, we might be throwing plates into the fireplace before today is over. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, from the sales page at aegrooming.com.
Inspired by Yaya, my grandmother on the Greek side, who made the most incredible baklava I've ever tasted. This shaving cream captures the essence of her legendary recipe. I've carefully recreated the warm, sweet, and nutty aroma of baklava in this luxurious formula. Made with our new shaving cream base, it delivers a truly exceptional performance, ensuring a smooth shave every time.
Y'all, here's what I love about this. It's not a generic baklava. Much like Christmas, where Peter is bringing you into his memory of Christmas in upstate New York. He's crafted not just a baklava, but his grandmother's baklava, or at least his memory of it. This scent opens with the delicate freshness of orange blossom and lemon, leading into the heart of honey and walnuts, pistachio, and brown sugar. The subtle phyllo note adds a touch of pastry sweetness, while sandalwood rounds it out with a soft, grounding finish. It's a nostalgic, indulgent experience, like a piece of Yaya's baklava in every shave. Baklava is presented in plastic jars with 5.3 ounces of our luxurious shaving cream. And there's a list of set notes, which we pretty much read, but we'll come back to later. Y'all, I love this. And Peter Charkalis does gourmands in a way that hit me deep and hard. I'm excited about this. Have you ever actually had baklava?
I was just trying to think if I have. I want to say yes, but if I have, it's been like 15, 20 years. It's a while.
I was on vacation to New York City, but I had a beautiful piece of baklava and one of the richest, most unexpected delights of my trip. Y'all, I'm excited for this. Let's take it out of the box. Padded envelopes are my favorite kind of envelopes.
This one's been waiting on the piano for a while, and it's finally time. Look at this.
Beautiful. I love how all of the shaving cream labels kind of have a little theme in their artwork.
But if you look deep in there, it does have that fun blue that I totally think of when I think of something Greek. And the little details of all the tile kind of looking stuff in the back.
Y'all tell, it almost looks like a fingerprint underneath the name there. What if that's Peter's in his house? Well, his fingerprint is in all of his scents, y'all, and we love it. Let's have it. First impression!
Do we rock, paper, scissors? Who goes first?
Yeah, that might be a good idea for this one. Okay, ready? Here we go. And I should stop doing rock every time. All right, here we go. You take it in.
It's not a fair challenge.
I know, really.
Okay. But the shaving cream, fun. Okay.
Love this.
Oh, it's definitely a cream. It's
that is definitely a different color. Some saffron maybe now. Oh, you're getting it now? Okay, take it in. What are you getting?
Oh, it does have, okay, it is definitely gourmandy.
Yeah. But
there is still like the sandalwood stuff he mentioned, and there's some other kind of more of the spice action.
Gotcha.
It's wonderful, y'all. It's got the doughy side, like the flakiness you can somehow smell, but it's not too sweet. I know sometimes our family makes fun of us, like, why would you want that gourmandy on your face? But this one has a fun side to this. Yeah, my brain wants there to be like a ginger or a cinnamon or some magical spice is in here that I wasn't expecting.
Right.
It adds just that layer of literally like built by hand, whether that's the recipe or how it's put together here. It's coming across. It's made with love.
Now, we have been exploring another nut note from A&E, their pistachio. Not only the original soap, but the pistachio silk EDP that Talia just released. Amazing. Are you sensing another flanker of a nuttiness in here that's not a pistachio?
It's here, but it's a much deeper version.
Right.
Like it's a darker color in my mind. So I'm not sure if that's how it's mixing with the other spices.
Right.
Or I think it said something about a brown sugar. Like there's something that color. I don't picture as much like pistachio silk to me has more of the perfumery side.
Right.
Somehow here it's a little more of the real in the recipe side.
I think in baklava it's a walnut. I'm not sure what the I think it's a walnut.
Okay, then maybe I'm just blending the walnut and the pistachio in my head.
That was my question.
It's a darker color.
Have a second nut from A&E.
Yeah, it's here throughout the whiff.
Nice.
But something goes into spicier land, woodsy side, and then the other side, it goes gourmandy sweet.
Right.
But somehow you can tell it's a baked good
Nice.
still. It's not just all of the stuff in the bowl,
Right.
part of the recipe. It has already been put together. So they're blended and cooked together to create this new baklava scent.
Is it a warmer scent?
Yes, I would say it's warmer. I think that's why my brain kept saying a spice. But
Right.
yes, warmer, a little deeper, more of that creamy brown kind of a side.
Gotcha. Now, what percentage of it is straight up gourmand baklava, and what percentage is a little extra magic, the sandalwood and spices that have been thrown in?
I'm trying to remember what real baklava smelled like
Right,
to me,
yeah.
but I want to say they are intertwined so well, it's almost hard to pull that apart. Like if I'm smelling for the deeper, more brown sugary side,
Right.
I get the nutty sandalwoody thing at the end.
Right.
If I jump in for the sandalwood, then it kind of starts there and
Right.
builds up to the sweeter gourmandy side.
Right. Y'all, we just shot Jacks from Vanulay, straight up Cracker Jacks, except no, it's not. There's more in there. There's a wood. There's a musk. There are other spices. So when I put it on last night, yeah, I got this sense of Cracker Jack. But I also got the sense of a really cool person who was wearing it. So I think that's kind of a key to some of the gourmands in the wet shaving world. And I love, it's why he said sandalwood and some other things in this. It's not just the gourmand. This is not meant to grab a spoon. You are also meant to have a sense of the personality that would wear this scent and put that all together on you. Is that what you're getting from this?
I am for sure. And if you were wearing this and someone walked by,
Right.
I don't know if they'd immediately get gourmandy. Like I feel like on
Right.
you, the spices and the woods and those kind of things are going to come through. But first whiff, I really almost do see this color in my mind.
It looks like the spice from Dune. Look at that color. And I really think
I think
I
you
need to
should.
take a snootful of
I
this.
can't keep it any
It
longer.
is fun that Peter and I enjoy a couple of the same restaurants in New York. Carmine's. Can we please talk about Carmine's for a second? I don't know if they have baklava because I always have the strawberry shortcake. It's like this tall. Sit in the back by the mirrors. All right, I'm
Hey,
taking it
dive in.
Here we go. Oh, this is nice. I love it because it starts out as if you were opening the door to the bakery.
Yeah.
And then as you progress in, you get more and more of a sense of what your nose and your tummy are zooming in on is the baklava in the cabinet. It starts with a charming sense of sweet, and the baklava reveals itself in this, goes deep into the baklava. So it's almost like they took it out and gave you a sample when the schmeckin' beckons. And then in the middle of the wisp is the full character of the baklava. And then at the end, it's like I'm putting it down and looking up and seeing the lovely gentleman across the counter who made it. And he's in a lovely tweed jacket. This goes deep. Leather patches on his sleeves for some reason. And stops right before it gets to a sense of coffee. Absolutely brilliant. Because then we can get Turkish coffee. And boy, you're right. You're right. The charm on this is turned all the way up so the sweet doesn't have to be. This is a super sweet dessert, but that comes from honey. It comes from a natural sweetness, not like a corn syrup factory made sort of Skittles sweetness. So it's not going to be like an overpowering, whoa, waft of sweet. It's going to be found within the phyllo dough. It's going to be found within the walnuts. It's going to be found within some of these scent notes. Wow. When you think you're going to experience novelty, and it's not even just the actual baklava on the plate, it's the whole building and the guy who served it to you all in one. Well, this is why Annie, you say Annie, this is beautiful.
You can tell it's made with love. Like the concept behind of like preserving the idea of her recipe and how it smelled and how it was. That's got to be such a cool thing to paint with scent and recreate that.
We were talking about that today, of why the wet shaving world is so beloved by its practitioners. Well, y'all, now when you buy a car, a refrigerator, a sofa, a television, those aren't even meant to last forever. Those are meant to last 8-9 years at most. I think razors are almost the last vestige of what we have that almost anybody can afford, but that we can pass down to our great-grandchildren because the quality is still there. They're literally still making these the way they used to. And I love that same level of quality and care and craftsmanship is in the software. I think it's why we started this show.
Yeah.
This has no business smelling as good as it is. If I saw any other lotion or bar soap or anything in any other world besides wet shaving, I would never expect it to smell as good as this does. I don't even think I'd use it either.
It's funny where I think I lean towards pistachio on the feminine turn of it. Somehow of this is like the masculine version of what that was creating.
And I'm glad you said that the moment you did, because I was just perceiving the walnuts and I was able to really tell the difference between these and the pistachio. There's maybe 20 or 30% similar DNA in the charm, and then they do go off in separate directions. The walnut's a little bit drier, a little bit nuttier.
That darker color somehow, like my brain just perceives it more.
Wow.
I am so glad we got to get a whiff of this. I'm not sure if it was a secret family recipe, but I think we should look at these scent notes.
All right, y'all, back to the sales page at aegrooming.com. We start with a top note that's a little surprising.
Yes, we have orange blossom.
Love that. Standing in for the sweetness of the sugar is a little delicate gourmandy floral.
Maybe just a little grandma touch, some yaya in there maybe.
And then lemon, but it's more of the muddled one. It's more of the real fruit lemon than it is like a cleaning idea of a lemon.
But it's interesting because I often put lemon with this next thing, honey. So in my mind, like in a tea or something, those always are good friends.
Got it. And then walnuts. Oh, and there is a pistachio.
Right, so they're
nut
both in here.
Right, so when I said 20-30%, there you go.
There you go. And then we have brown sugar, which that's the color, the dark brown sugar. That's what my brain is getting.
And it's not a burnt sugar. It's the molasses inside the brown sugar, and it's there.
Somehow, again, not too sweet. Like, I don't feel like I'm getting cavities taking a whiff of this.
Well, no, like honey itself, when you smell it, it doesn't actually smell sweet.
Yeah.
And then phyllo dough, a pastry note, was used. I love that because you can sense it. You can sense, like you said, how flaky it is.
And it's somehow subtle, but it's just, in my mind, I could almost perceive it as like a woodsy kind of scent.
Right. And then what makes it masculine? What gives me that sense of a lovely, jovial guy across the counter selling me this
sandalwood
Some
is here.
sandalwood, y'all. Brilliant. And these are our bougie sticks from Amazon.com, so we don't contaminate our cream. And I want you to see the consistency of this. It's beautifully soft and creamy, and that's probably twice as much as you need. Peter will tell you. I got out our dark nebula bowl from KUN so you could see these octopus arms and see how this lather gets made from this phenomenal cream formula, which, by the way, we don't talk about price around here at the Barbershop Duet. We really don't. Unless it's absolutely extraordinary and part of the philosophy. Y'all, these clock in at under $14. Are you kidding me?
And we did just order one of the new creams in a tube to try.
We did. A new sandalwood tube. There are 4 new scents coming in aluminum tubes. Maybe even an Amazon offering for A&E someday.
Kind of cool.
And this is the retro shaving brush. Sarah's is on its way with the synthetic knot. This is the badger knot. I love this. Crispy, crunchy. And when you put it on the soap itself, I'm not going to wet it because we've been listening to Craig at Opus Brush. You can send your complaints to the email address at the bottom of the screen. We're going to go forwards and backwards as the bristles start to get a little bit of that water that I sprayed onto the bowl. I'm going to turn the brush so the bristles have a new orientation to grab the soap. And just about the time all the soap is gone because of my brush turning, look at that, it's like almost gone from the top. I'm going to go down over the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. and soak up the rest of that water onto those bristles. And then look at this, y'all. I'm just going to start with sort of a small pattern in the middle of this giant bowl. This is more for the head shaver, I think.
It's still so funny that there's no cinnamon or ginger. Like, my brain wants them to be in here, but it must just be the magic of the honey and the brown sugar coming to life.
You getting the honey notes coming from this bowl?
I'm about to go take a whiff.
Now. Oh, man. And if you're good, like me, you add all the water you need at the very beginning so you don't have to keep adding more. What? Yeah, y'all, if it gets a little pasty on its way to yogurt, throw a little water in there. Nothing wrong with that.
There's like a fun fall side to this somehow.
Right.
But then it also jumps to like spring and summer on the lighter notes.
And I think the brilliant part of this is it is not 100% a gourmand. If you walked into a courtroom, to argue a case, or a board meeting, I think this has exactly enough sandalwood where you would not sense it as a baklava scent. You would sense it as a jovial Greek friend.
And for those that are Greek, having that little yaya on your shoulder kind of feel, I feel like this is something you can really resonate with.
I am from a large German family. It's a little rough to walk around smelling like bratwurst. Klinger means bell ringer. The family crest is 4 lions on a sofa watching television, and it says Avante Sucranium, move your head in Latin underneath. Look at the amount of shaving cream I've got for this. I need a couple more friends. Good thing Nato's coming over tonight. We should just save this.
Oh, look at listen to that slop.
Y'all, did you see how little we used?
Right?
And hey, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. Peter has started making shaving videos again. I just watched his sandalwood shave cream video, and we love seeing how that A and E lather coats the face. So we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet. We will put on a little half coat of some lather, and boy, does that feel good from this brush.
It's funny, my brain is stuck between the nutty side, the woodsy side, and then the sugar is like right in the middle. Anything sweet, and it's just a subtle sweetness.
I am sensing that little tiny white flower Peter fingerprint olfactory signature that's in Cathedral, that's in Barbary Classico. I can sense it very much in the background of this, but it's here. And y'all, as we make our way down Peter's family tree, why don't you come with us while we go a little deeper?
I do have one of my close friends that is from a large Greek family. And every event, like even she's one of 5 girls, like every event is just the epitome of having bodies and people and all of the family love everywhere. I just wish I could jump in and see what that life is like.
I had something interesting happen yesterday. I grabbed the dish towel that we use to wash off the outside of the aftershave bottle for Jacks, Cracker Jacks.
Right.
And I smelled the towel accidentally after we had shot an episode of a fine perfume homage, and I went, oh, that's beautiful. I don't actually remember the scent being that good. And then you reminded me, that's Cracker Jacks. And I went, oh, yeah. Hold on. If you smelled this, would you know right away that it was such a heavy gourmand, or would you be able to get the sense of more of a cologne from it? What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. If I did not see the label, if I didn't know what gourmand necessarily meant, if I just took a whiff of this, I would get more the woodsy. Somehow there's a spice in here for me that I'm really getting. I don't know if that's happening with the walnuts or the brown sugar. Something in here is adding that deeper spice.
Well, it comes from expectation, which we have realized is a massive part of the wet shaving world. With the right label and name, a soap will smell great. With the opposite label and name, your nose might reject it. So it is all about the buildup. And I think if you smell somebody walking down the street with this on, your expectation would be cologne, aftershave, EDP. And as you took it in, you'd go, wow, what is that? Why is that hitting me in such nostalgic and almost places? That's where these shine. I don't think people recognize them as gourmands. Put it in the comments. But when you wear bay gum out on the street, I don't think people recognize it's juicy fruit because they're not expecting it. And I think that is what can get you super noticed, or at the very least, longer hugs. When you put on an EDP or a splash of baklava, I don't think it's sensed as a gourmand out there in the wild among the normies. I think they're just like, whoa, What a beautiful scent that is.
It's funny, when I take whiffs of this too, my brain thinks that there's a cinnamon or something in here.
Yes,
So
100%.
people that are normally allergic to a soap that has cinnamon in it,
Angelo?
this could be in your lane.
There
It's like
you
a
go.
fun second close kind of version of a gourmand without the cinnamon in here.
I'm going to kind of assume a high number here, but where would you put this on a crowd-pleasing scale? I mean, who doesn't like baklava, right?
Right? I would say 8.59.
9, absolutely. Some scents of gourmands have a sense of home.
Yes.
Apple pie, well, from A&E. Nano bread, just senses of a homey treat. Fruit Loops, are you kidding me?
It's in here.
All of the comfort of a beautiful, lived-in family home. That's what this smells like.
And again, I think that's also what got us into the shaving soaps alone, was just how transportive some of these scents can be.
And a few years ago, my family moved to Idaho. So I don't have that family home to go home to anymore. In fact, we figured out the other day, this room where we are filming this episode is the last room in my entire family where my grandparents and my great-grandfather were.
I've been.
They had Thanksgiving in this room. The table was literally set up right here. So for me, I know life moves on. I know people leave us. That's part of what we're here to learn. But what I love is when I do want to relive those family New Year's Eve parties where the house is so crowded you can hardly move. This smells like that. Well, I mean, without the tequila. Guys woke up in the backyard at Thanksgiving. They were heavy drinkers.
But the love that goes into those family recipes somehow really is brought through this soap.
The care. You ever watch someone make baklava if you have 6 hours? But Greek grandmothers know you're worth it. You're worth that effort. And that's why it's so special.
I'm so glad Peter snuck this in so that we could review this, because it really just adds reading what it's about. I don't know if we first would have grabbed this, but I'm glad we have it now.
And circling all the way back, he didn't just make a generic baklava. He's invited you into his family home. He's invited you into his memories to experience for him what his grandmother's baklava really did smell like. And I even get a sense of the heat from the oven. Thank you, Peter and Talia, for sending this out for free to review and believing in our little show. We sure believe in you. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be at JFK International Airport, weathering the storm, trying to make your way home to Greece for the holidays. It's going to be laborious. You're going to be sitting next to a crying baby for 14 and a half hours. But by the time your plane lands and your Uber drops you off at your Yaya's house and there is that little tiny square of baklava waiting for you, you will know it has all been worth it because you got your own. So head over to aegrooming.com or shavingshopclub.com to find this and a bunch of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with baklava. Not a paint-by-number set by any stretch of the imagination. This is his grandmother's baklava, and you can sense it. Beautiful, spicy spine, but something in it that goes so well with a sense of being a soap. And this is a beautiful formula. Y'all has no business being as good as it is for $13 or $14. And boy, will this last you a while. Peter, Ariana, and Evans, Talia, your whole family, thank you for being some of the innovators of this world, because you're going to take us into the future. Welcome to Messages.
So for our March giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get a $25 gift card to McDuff Soap Company.
It's in Canadian dollars. How cool is that? All you have to do is send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com to be considered for this giveaway, and then check back here on our first April episode when our Alexa helps us choose our lucky winner on the show.
Best of luck. So I think we've made a barbershop decision that we're going to have to get the splash.
I think immediately after this episode is over. This is beautiful. And you know what's funny? Even though I know A&E and I know where the bar should be set, this is still blowing my skirt way up. This is way better than I even thought it would be.
And it's in their line that everyone can afford. It's in that shaving cream line.
$13, y'all. And at 5.3 ounces of this stuff, this is going to last you a while, like half a year.
Right. This is the one little chunk that Marcus took out. Like, you're going to be good for a while. But I do have to say, I'm really glad that Peter threw this in.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have reached to grab it before. I just don't remember smelling baklava or thinking it had that many layers to it. But the way that the recipe comes through here, my friend, we need the splash.
It's made me super brave on the AE website, because if I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, I probably will. These are absolutely amazing.
So thank you for sending this out for free for us to review. It has a wonderful place in our hearts now and in our shave den.
And if you do want to see a few of our more iffy soaps, check out our iffy soap series on Instagram. There's going to be a few more of those coming before summer hits.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.